Hello everyone, I'm Travis.
And I'm Nicole.
And let's get wanderlust. This video is going to be our full ship tour of Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas. Quantum of the Seas is a Quantum class cruise ship and it's about 169,000 gross tons. Quantum of the Seas has a maximum passenger capacity of about 4,900 people. Quantum of the Seas made its maiden voyage back in 2014. It has 18 decks and is roughly 1,100 feet long and 135 feet wide. Our cruise aboard Quantum of the Seas was in June of 2025. This was a 7-night cruise from Seattle, Washington, all the way to Alaska. Nicole and I do a lot of cruising, so if you enjoy this video and you want to see what else our channel has to offer, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're going to start on deck 15, which is at the very top of the ship, and we're going to walk towards the back of the ship. The first place that we'll run into is the Seaplex. The Seaplex is the sports area of Quantum of the Seas. This is where they do bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and even archery. That sounds weird to do archery on a cruise ship, but they even have a tournament for archery during your cruise aboard this ship. The Seaplex is full of all kinds of ways to stay active on your cruise, including ping pong, and even an Xbox lounge, with plenty of video games for the kids to play. Also located in the Seaplex is the Seaplex Doghouse, our first food venue aboard Quantum of the Seas. This is a place where you can get hot dogs and sausages with toppings and different types of buns. This is the perfect place to go for your kids while they're hanging out in the Seaplex. Challenger's Arcade is up here in the Seaplex. This is where you can get your gaming fix aboard your cruise. Make sure you check your cruise planner to prepay for the arcade if you're interested in doing that. Normally you get a better rate if you do. Speaking of kids, the teenager-only club, the living room, is also located just outside the Seaplex. And if you're staying in a suite, the Suite Sun Deck is located up here as well.
Leaving the Seaplex as you continue towards the back of the ship, you will find the Shuffleboard Courts. This is a cruise ship classic, and you will find all of the equipment you need for a quick game in the cabinet right next to it. At the very back of the ship is another Royal Caribbean classic, which is the Flow Rider. This is the surf simulator on board. You can do surfing or boogie board lessons here. The very back of the ship is also amazing for sailaways. This gives you an unobstructed ocean view and the best view, which is wake view. As you continue around the back of the ship, you will come to Ripcord by iFly. This is a skydiving simulation on board. There are some short experiences available for free. You can find those in your cruise planner, or if you want a personalized or longer experience, they are available for an extra charge. Right next to this is another cruise classic, the rock climbing wall. Depending on whether you want to scale it at your own pace, or if you want to do the speed run competition, check out the rock climbing wall. Just make sure that you bring closed-toed shoes.
You may notice this gigantic bear hanging outside the Seaplex. Each one of the Quantum class ships has a different animal. As an example, Anthem of the Seas has the giraffe, Odyssey has a cat, and Ovation has pandas. Which one is your favorite? As we stay on deck 15 and head towards the front of the ship, you have a great view of the pool deck below. This is the outside pool on Quantum of the Seas. It's one pool and a kids' wave pool right next to the Windjammer. The next major attraction that we'll come up to is the North Star. The North Star is the observation tower aboard Quantum of the Seas. Again, this has some free experiences, mostly in port days, or you can do a longer paid-for experience on your sea days. Underneath the North Star is the North Star Bar and the North Star check-in location. It's also another great place to hang out in the sun if you have some, which we didn't have in Alaska. Located almost at the front of the ship on deck 15 and deck 16 is the Vitality at Sea Spa, Salon, and Gym. The Vitality Spa has a ton of different experiences and things you can pay for, everything from the thermal suites to massages to just getting your hair done. Make sure you check out the spa on your embarkation day because they do free tours and you can find exactly what you're looking for. We've been walking on the jogging track around deck 15. This jogging track has some signs to let you know how many laps equals a mile or more. Make sure you run your laps early in the morning to burn off all those extra calories you earned in the Windjammer. Now, one thing to remember on the jogging track, while the ship is moving, the very front of it we call the wind tunnel. Be careful because the wind in this little area will blow you over, or at least blow your SeaPass card that's on your lantern off your head. Just be careful, don't wear a hat, and make sure you have shorts on underneath your dress. Located above the spa, on deck 16, is the gym. The gym has plenty of workout equipment, including classes like aerobics and spin. Again, check this out on embarkation day during their open houses to find out exactly what you're looking for on your cruise. Let's head down to deck 14, which is the pool deck aboard Quantum of the Seas. As I mentioned when we were on deck 15, deck 14 is the pool deck, and this is where they have a smaller wave pool for the kids. There is not a splash pad like on some Royal Caribbean ships, and this is also where the main pool is, the main outdoor pool is on board this ship. Also in this area is the Sky Bar, which is the pool bar on the outdoor pool deck. Normally this would be the lime and coconut on most Royal Caribbean ships, but on Quantum of the Seas it is just called the Sky Bar. What's your favorite drink to order when you're at the pool? We normally like to get the strawberry daiquiri. Cool and refreshing. As we walk towards the front of the ship, the next area that we'll come into is the indoor pool. Now, the really cool thing about these Quantum class ships, except for Odyssey, is they have an indoor pool made for colder climates. Since Quantum of the Seas spends some of its time in Alaska, this comes in handy. It also really comes in handy when it's super hot outside because it is air conditioned. The indoor pool has a normal pool, and it also has a smaller, splashy area for kids, even though it is not a traditional splash pad. And of course, there's the pool bar, which is usually quicker in terms of getting a drink on the pool deck because most people don't realize it's there. As we continue towards the front of the ship, we come up to the tied-in trail, which this is kind of the scuba area of Quantum of the Seas. This is where you can rent scuba gear and other equipment for excursions and experiences on board the ship. It's rarely open, so make sure you check your cruise compass if you're looking to get something out of there.
we continue towards the front of the ship, next we come to the solarium, the adults-only 18 and up section of Quantum of the Seas. The first venue in the solarium that you will come to is the Solarium Bistro. This is a complimentary dining option that offers a upscale smaller buffet for breakfast and lunch, and then it also offers small Mediterranean plate-style buffets for dinner. We tried the Solarium Bistro on this cruise, and we were pleasantly surprised by the elevated options that they offered, and everything was pretty delicious. If you are looking for options, but you don't want to fight the Windjammer, this is a very good choice. Leaving the Solarium Bistro, you come into the main section of the solarium, which is going to have the pools, hot tubs, and lounge chairs in this adults-only space. The solariums on the Quantum class cruise ships are some of our favorites because they actually have full-size pools instead of just hot tubs. So if you are looking to get away from the kids, but you still want to be able to get in the pool, this is a really good option. And because it's enclosed, it's climate controlled, and it's always nice and warm. Of course, there is a bar in this area. It is called the Sunshine Bar. This is also where you can access 2 outdoor decks on either side of the ship. These are fantastic for views. Just be careful because they are very windy.
As we exit the solarium and head towards the back of the ship, the first place that we'll run into is the towel stand. This is where you can scan your SeaPass card and check out towels. Just make sure you bring them back, or otherwise Royal Caribbean will charge you for them. Nobody wants to be charged for an old towel. As you exit the indoor pool area is your ice cream stand, which is the best place to get a vanilla, chocolate, or a swirled ice cream. The pool deck on Quantum of the Seas has plenty of life jackets available, so if you have someone in your party, or your kids, or yourself is not a very strong swimmer, make sure you wear a life jacket. And then at the very end of the pool deck, before you head inside to the Windjammer, we have the Noodle Shop. The Noodle Shop used to be known as the Kung Fu Panda Noodle Shop when Royal Caribbean had a partnership with DreamWorks Studios, but now it's just the Noodle Shop. This is where you can get Kung Pao chicken, beef satay, fried rice, and other noodle-based dishes. It is an extra charge, so just be mindful of that. The only thing that is complimentary at the Noodle Shop is the hot dog bites, chicken nuggets, and french fries. It's also referred to as the Splashaway Cafe on some maps along the ship. As we pass the Noodle Shop and go inside, we find one of our favorite places, and it's the Windjammer Marketplace. The Windjammer Marketplace is the buffet aboard Quantum of the Seas, and it is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every night of your cruise. The Windjammer Marketplace even has themed nights that match the main dining room. But don't worry, if you're not into those themes, they do have normal food and buffet staples for you to eat. The really cool thing about the Windjammer aboard Quantum of the Seas is it actually has an outdoor seating area at the very back of the ship. So if you're taking an Alaskan cruise and want to whale watch while you eat from the buffet, they have you covered. If you'd like to know more about the food on board Quantum of the Seas, we have a food video for this amazing ship on our channel. We'll link that in the description of this video for you to check out. Right next to the Windjammer is the suite guest-only main dining room called Coastal Kitchen. We've tried Coastal Kitchen on Odyssey of the Seas and Icon of the Sea, and both times it was very good. We highly recommend the filet mignon on night 1, so if you're staying in a suite, make sure you do not forget about Coastal Kitchen. We're going to head down one deck for the only thing that is on deck 13 besides normal staterooms, and it's the Conference Center. If you're looking to host a conference, an event, a wedding, or anything like that on board Quantum of the Seas, typically would happen in this section. Each one of the rooms is named after different Royal Caribbean ships, and they have plenty of room to host any type of convention or conference you're wanting to do. This area is being replaced on Ovation of the Sea, so it wouldn't surprise us that if this section of Quantum gets the same treatment in a future amplification remodel. It'll probably be replaced by suites. Now we'll head down to Deck 12 at the very back of the ship. Underneath the Conference Center is the Suite Lounge. If you're staying in a Sky Class or Star Class suite, you have access to the Suite Lounge. They do small plates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They even have happy hour with drinks included. Make sure you check out the Suite Lounge and let us know how it is, because we didn't have a suite on our sailing and we're really curious.
Also on Deck 12 is Adventure Ocean. This is going to be the kids club aboard Quantum of the Seas. They have something for everything from the Royal Nursery for the littlest ones, and then they have the different age groups from your 3 to 5, 6 to 9, 10 to 12, and then your teens club as well. On embarkation day, between the hours of usually noon and 4, they do host open houses for the kids club. This is the only time that you will have access to them unless your child is actually entering the kids club. So if you do want to check them out, see what activities they are offering during your sailing and see if it's right for your kids, make sure to go there on embarkation day so you can check it out and get them registered.
Let's head down to Deck 5, which is the Royal Esplanade aboard Quantum of the Seas. The Royal Esplanade aboard Quantum of the Seas is very similar to the Royal Promenade on other Royal Caribbean ships. This is your main entertainment, food, and shopping district aboard this incredible ship. The first venue that we'll come up to is the Focus Photo Gallery. The Focus Photo Gallery is where you can get your photos that you've paid for with a photo package on board your ship. This is also where you can buy accessories for your camera, like memory cards, or even purchase a GoPro. If you're interested in a photo package, make sure you check out the Cruise Planner website to see how much they are and how many photos you get. Up next, as we head towards the back of the ship, is Chop's Grill. This is the first specialty dining restaurant that we've come to, and this is the steakhouse aboard Quantum of the Seas. We love Chop's Grill and have tried it on multiple different Royal Caribbean ships. We highly recommend the ribeye and the filet, and of course, the chocolate lava cake. And the first bar that we'll run into on the Royal Esplanade is the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar is the nautical themed bar aboard Quantum of the Seas. This is where they have piano music, and they also do trivia here. And this is where Nicole got her most favorite drink on our cruise. This was the Desert Pear Margarita. If you really like margaritas, make sure you check out the Schooner Bar and try Nicole's favorite drink.
As we continue on, we will come to another specialty dining restaurant, Izumi Sushi. This is the sushi restaurant on board Quantum of the Seas. Izumi has a prefix menu where you can order appetizer, sushi roll as your main, and desserts. We recommend the fudomaki roll, the crispy shrimp roll, and the mochi ice cream. On the opposite side of Izumi is the Bionic Bar. This is going to be your robot bar on board Quantum of the Seas. This is where you can go, choose your drink on a tablet, and then the robot will make it for you. Opposite of the Bionic Bar is Wonderland. This is another specialty dining restaurant on board Quantum of the Seas. This is going to be your multi-course, very whimsical, deconstructed, and imaginative dining experience. This is Alice in Wonderland based, and there is even a Mad Hatter. Up next, we come to Picture This, which is the photo studio on board. This is where you can go to get your professional style photos done if you want a private session rather than just photos around the ship. And then we come to the Shore Excursions desk. This is, like it sounds, where you can go to ask any questions about a shore excursion that you already have booked, book one if you do not already, or make any modifications. So if you have any questions about your shore excursions, or you think that you might want to book one for one of your upcoming port days, make sure you check out the Shore Excursions desk.
As we head towards the back of the ship from the Royal Esplanade, we enter the Via. The first place that we'll talk about as we enter the Via is a jewelry store called Exquisites. Exquisites has a large selection of luxury watches and jewelry. We didn't go in there because that's not quite our thing, but if you're looking for a specific luxury watch or some jewelry, make sure you go in there and let us know how it was. Across from Exquisites is another specialty dining restaurant, and it's the Italian restaurant on board this ship, and it's Jamie's Italian by Jamie Oliver. We tried Jamie's Italian on Mariner of the Seas, and we really liked it, especially for lunch. Make sure you try the burrata appetizer and the carbonara, and of course the cheesecake. And one side really cool fact about Jamie's Italian is that the company went bankrupt a few years ago. That's why on some of the newer ships out there, like Utopia, Icon, Star, and Wonder, it's known as Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, which is a very similar concept. It's just Royal Caribbean and not licensed by another company. Right next to Jamie's Italian is Vintages, which is the wine bar aboard this ship. They are known for their huge selection of wine, but they also offer small plates, and your dining package works there. We've never eaten at Vintages or had any wine from there, so if you really like Vintages and you want to let us know how it is, make sure you put it in the comment section below. We're continuing towards the back of the ship, and on the left-hand side is the Next Cruise desk. The Next Cruise desk is where you can book your next cruise on your current cruise. They usually have their own promos that include onboard credit and maybe some discounts. If you're looking to book your next cruise on your current cruise, make sure you talk to one of the specialists at the Next Cruise desk. And right after the Next Cruise desk is the VOOM Internet desk, which is where you can get help and or purchase the internet on board your Royal Caribbean cruise. We recommend purchasing the internet before you get on the cruise. It's normally cheaper, but if you're having issues with connecting to the Wi-Fi, These folks are wizards, and they can get you all taken care of. And if you want more information about shopping on the ship or in the ports you're going to, right after the VOOM Internet Desk is the shopping desk. Again, this is where you can get information on port shopping or shopping on board the ship. We're almost to the end, to the back of the ship, and we're going to walk past the Park West Art Gallery. The Art Gallery is where they display all of the art that is on sale for the art auctions on board your cruise. We've never purchased any type of art on board a cruise, and it's not really our thing, but if you have, we'd love to hear about it. Park West has a ton of stuff on display, and there's always somebody there, and there's several auctions on board your cruise. The next venue is the Cafe at 270. This is very similar to the Park Cafe on your Oasis class and Icon class ships. It almost looks identical, minus the park. In here you have a specialty coffee bar, and you also have a build your own salad or build your own breakfast sandwich bar, and some other places to pick up some quick service complimentary food. There's even a drinks bar here, so if you're looking for the free drinks like your iced teas and coffees, it's also located in here. It's also the best place to get a specialty coffee to avoid the lines on the Royal Esplanade at the coffee shop. And at the very end of Deck 5, at the very back of the ship, is the 270 Lounge. This is a performance venue on board Quantum of the Seas. This is where Star Water takes place, along with a lot of other game shows, trivia, Captain's Corner, and other events. There is a bar inside the 270 area where you can get a drink if you're watching a show, and upstairs is the library, which they had a large selection of books, which was very surprising for a modern-day cruise ship. And they also had games and crossword puzzles and all kinds of other stuff you could pick up in the library as well. There's even a meeting room up on the second deck of the 270 Lounge as well. The 270 Lounge also has really cool movable television screens on robotic Kuka arms, and they can even do projection mapping on the back windows of this venue. The 270 Lounge is named after the 270-degree views, and this lounge costs more for Royal Caribbean to build than it cost to build their first dedicated cruise ship. Outside on Deck 5, there are walking tracks on both sides of the ship right next to the lifeboats. This is a great place to get some fresh air and avoid the crowds on times like sail away. It's also the easiest way to get from the 270 area to the Royal Theater and avoid the crowds in between shows. So let's say you're at a show in 270 and it ends and you need to get to the Royal Theater for another show. Use the outside portion. There's almost nobody out there, and you can avoid all the traffic jams through the Via and the Royal Esplanade.
On Deck 3 and 4 is the Royal Theater. This is the main theater and showroom aboard Quantum of the Seas. This is where you will see all of your Broadway-style shows, as well as they did some trivia and other activities in here too. If you are Diamond or above with the Crown and Anchor Society, we also tried for the very first time on this cruise the behind-the-scenes tour of the Royal Theater. So if you are interested in how they put on these large-scale productions, you should definitely check that out. It will be on one of your sea days, and check your cruise planner. Right outside of the Royal Theater, we have the Crown Lounge. Again, if you are Diamond or above with Royal Caribbean's Anchor Society, this is where you can pop in and grab a bite to eat. They have snacks out throughout the day. They have an espresso machine. In the evening between 5 and 8, they do a happy hour, as well as there is a concierge desk in here that he can help you out with any questions that you may have. Leaving the Crown Lounge and the Royal Theater, the first venue we will come to is the Collection. This is going to be the sunglasses shop on board. So if you forgot your sunglasses at home or you just want a new pair, this is where you can go. After that, we come to the Prince and Green, which is a designer shop. It is going to have most of your name brand designers, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Kate Spade, all that good stuff. So if you want to pick up a purse on board, this is the place for you. Right next door, we have Body and Beauty. So you can pick up any duty-free perfumes or makeup that you may need throughout your sailing. They have tons of options, almost every brand that you could imagine. After all of the shops, you will come to the music hall on Deck 4. The music hall spans both Deck 4 and Deck 3. It is a 2-story venue. This is where you will find pool tables, live music. It's where the band plays, and they hold several activities throughout the day here. The music hall also has some specialty drinks, so if you're looking to try something new, check out their menu. Across from the music hall, you will find more shops. The first one is Luxury Leather. This is where you will find some of your pre-owned luxury designer goods, such as Chanel and Louis Vuitton. Now we have Regalia Watches and Jewelry. This is one of the jewelry shops on board. So if you are looking for a new watch or you want to buy some new jewelry and maybe save some money, check it out.
As we head towards the back of the ship on Deck 4, on the left-hand side, we'll run into the Harp and Horn, which is the English pub aboard Quantum of the Seas. On the left-hand side, we'll run into the Harp and Horn, which is the English pub aboard Quantum of the Seas. This pub used to be known as Michael's Genuine Pub, but the license agreement ran out, but the signage still is inside the pub. This pub has bar food like the Royal Pub Burger, fried macaroni and cheese bites, and really good desserts. It's also the best place on board Quantum of the Seas to get a Guinness, which, if you're looking for a Guinness, this is the place to go. Right next to the British pub is Sorrento's Pizza, which is obviously the pizza joint on board Quantum of the Seas. This is a complimentary dining venue where you can get cheese, pepperoni, and the pizza of the day. And you're in luck if you're going to late shows or enjoying the nightlife. It's open until 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Right next to Sorrento's Pizza is Cafe Promenade. This is where you can get some of the free drinks like the iced teas and coffees. They also have small plates like sandwiches and desserts. Next door to Cafe Promenade is the Logo Shop, which is where you can get all of your Royal Caribbean branded and Quantum of the Seas branded merchandise. On our sailing, they also had a ton of Alaska branded merchandise, so depending on where you're sailing from and you want something that's specific to the ports you're going to, make sure you check out the Logo Shop as well. One thing to remember about the Logo Shop on Quantum of the Seas is that it is very small and very cramped. So we recommend going there when there's less people so you can shop without feeling like you're tripping over people. Across the Royal Esplanade from the Logo Shop is the Specialty Coffee Shop. This is where you can use your refreshment package, your deluxe beverage package, or your coffee card to purchase your specialty coffees. This is not a Starbucks location, but they do proudly serve Starbucks coffee, which essentially means they serve Starbucks beans. This is one of Nicole's favorite places to go, but do remember there is a longer line on the Royal Esplanade for coffee, so if you're looking for the shorter line, go to Cafe at 270. Right next to the coffee shop is Boleros, which is the Latin-themed bar aboard Quantum of the Seas. They do salsa dancing and Latin music in this bar. It's also one of the best places to get the margaritas on board this ship. So if you're looking to dance the night away or just have a really good drink, make sure you check out Boleros. And as a side note, they do the art auctions inside Boleros, which is kind of weird, but I guess because it has the most space. Across the way from Boleros on the Royal Esplanade is Guest Services. Guest Services is where you can go to speak to a manager or to resolve a problem that you have on board the ship. We went to Guest Services because we were charged for a drink when we shouldn't have, and they were super nice and took it right off. And at the very end, at the very back of the ship, on deck 4, it's also on deck 3, is the main dining rooms. On Quantum of the Seas, the dining rooms are separated into 4 different rooms, because they used to do rotational dining on board this ship. You have Chic, Silk, Grand, and American Icon. Each one of the different dining venues has a different theme, different chairs, different decor. Which one is your favorite? We really like the Grand dining room.
Now on deck 3, we have Casino Royale. This is the casino on board Quantum of the Seas. This is a very large space with tons of table games, tons of slot machines, and something for everybody. Depending on your Crown and Anchor status, you may have a couple dollars in free play. So we always like to play the game, how quick can we lose $6? The answer is under a minute.
There's plenty of spaces inside Casino Royale to get your gambling fix on your Royal Caribbean cruise. Make sure you check the hours because in some ports and in some areas of the world, it may be closed during your cruise, but there's plenty of time to gamble the night away and lose all of your money like we would if we were to gamble more than our free play. So that's it. That's the entirety of Quantum of the Seas. We went all the way from the pool deck all the way down to deck 3 where Casino Royale is. We showed off all the venues, the bars, the dining locations, and everything that this ship has to offer. If you have any questions about Quantum of the Seas, our sailing on Quantum of the Seas, or anything else that goes on our channel, make sure you leave those in the comments section below. If you'd like to support our channel and you like this video, make sure you
like this video
and subscribe to our channel for more. If you need us, we're going to head right up to that Windjammer because we're super hungry and they have all the food. I'm Travis.
And I'm Nicole.
Thanks so much for watching.